Uncertain times in business happen every single day. What are you going through right now that you're uncertain about? What are you going through right now that feels like it's not going the way you want it to go? What are you going through right now that feels darker than you thought it would feel like? Uncertain times in business, we are made for. And I've got the solutions to your questions on the next question mark. Welcome back to this series of Question Mark, and today I was posed a question that said, how do you navigate uncertainty as an entrepreneur? Love this question. I can count on many hands the amount of times that times have been uncertain, and I want to try to help you grow in this uncertainty or this space called uncertainty where you can find yourself as an entrepreneur. And the number one thing that I think about when it's uncertain, it feels a little chaotic, it feels a little out of control, or if you're very frustrated, okay? The number one thing you need to think about is, what do you control? Because there's a lot of uncontrollable variables. Sometimes we think we have so much control. We don't. But what we do control, we should control it. So control what you can control. Huge. Because if the few things that you can control, you let go uncontrollable, it gets worse really fast, right? When I think of COVID and the times that came down, and I remember being in my bedroom looking at the TV screen and just like darkness is just all over me. I'm feeling like, I'm looking at the screen like, and I'm feeling helpless. And every second, bad words were coming out of the people's mouths on the screen. A lot of negativity. And so I looked at my wife, I said, turn it off. Like, turn the TV off. We had to turn it off, because what am I gonna do? There's so many things I don't control. You know what I control? Number one, I control my attitude, okay? I control how I respond to all the negativity coming. The only thing I could do that made sense to me, turn it off. Turn it off. Guess what? I don't hear it anymore. It's already bad enough. I don't hear it anymore. I control that. In situations where I'm dealing in business or a business deal, or there's something that I want to happen, you know, where it doesn't go my way. Okay? I can control my attitude. Second thing I can control is I can control my communication. I'll use COVID as an example. We all could control our communication. How positive our communication was, what we said, how often we spoke. And in business and leadership, you want to over-communicate. You want to over-communicate what you know. You want to over-communicate what you don't know. But you want to over-communicate, because if you're in front of the camera, or if you're in front of your team, or if you're in front of the people counting on you, that's all they could ask for. Up to the minute, up to the this, give me what you got. But you control your communication. You control how positive, you control how negative. And if you're spewing a bunch of negativity to your team as a leader, the ship's going down, brother. It's going down. They have nothing to latch onto. So sometimes it's okay to say, we're working on it. We are working on it. We are working as diligently as we can on it. I remember talking to some great leaders, pastors, of a church, and they're going through a difficult time at the church. And I remember them looking me in the eyes and saying, we're going to do everything we can to the best of our ability and put our hope in God, and we're going to do the very best that we can. Those are winners, man. Those are freaking winners. We're going to do the very best. Like, what else do you want me to do? It's okay, it's going sideways, it's going down, it's going backwards. Okay, let's communicate. But I'm gonna communicate the very best information that I have in the moment that I have it. I'm gonna do the very best that I can at all times. Winners. That's a winning mindset because you don't control you understand what I just said? What that woman said to me is that we don't control everything. she said, I don't have all the controls. There's very few things I control, Mark. She didn't say this, but this is me paraphrasing. There's very few things that I can control, but the things that I can control, I'm gonna do the very best that I can. What else can I ask for? Now that might not be good enough, but that's good enough for the communicator. And so that's communication. Activity. You can control how active you get. You can control, how you step out. You can control how much activity you're doing, how many people you're communicating with, how much activity is actually going down. If you're selling products, if you're selling services, if you're maintaining services, if you're reaching out to clients, current clients, making people feel good, better about products when things are going sideways, you control it. You control it. You control how active you are. Mark Cuban brought in a brand new CEO to run the Dallas Mavericks a few years back. Her name's slipping me right now, but she said that she walked the halls of the entire facility and shook everybody's hands and made them understand that she understands the shoes they are in. Everybody's hands were shaking. She listened to everybody's story. She listened to everybody's tenure at the Dallas Mavericks. Cint Marshall's her name. She listened to everybody's story and she wanted them all to understand, hey, doesn't matter what my role is, I want to know about you. That's activity. She didn't, listen, you get anointed the new CEO, you could do a press conference. You could walk the halls and say hi to people and act and shake hands and kiss babies. And you don't have to sit with people and ask them what their tenure was like. And you don't have to be as active as she was. What does she control? Activity. So you get to control the activity when we're talking about uncertain times. Control what you can control. Here's the backside of controlling what you can control. Number 2, let go of the rest and let God handle it. I got a sign in my office that says, "Good morning, my name is God. I'm in control of all your problems today." Makes sense. I mean, let go, let God. Letter A, he has all the real controls. Yeah, we control these 3 things. The rest of the controls, he has them all. And he has these. And if we seek him diligently, we will do these better. B, he controls everything. He controls everything. So uncertain times typically means you don't know what's happening next. Cool. We've been through so many uncertain times in our lives, all of us. I remember my wife being pregnant with our son, our first child, and we had a pregnancy scare. So we go to the emergency room, and the emergency room's job is to scare the living garbage out of you so that they can stay compliant and said that they said these things. Well, we didn't know that, and this is our first child. With your first child, you're scared to death anyway. You can't even you scared. You just hoping everything goes well all the time for a while until you have your second child and then you realize stuff's normal. But your first child, you're nervous about everything. This is the child where you overbuy diapers. The child that you set up one too many things in the room. You buy every single baby gadget that ever existed. You know how many of them you actually use? Not a lot. But this is that child. This is the child that your wife is, burgeoning her stomach for the very first time. And she's uncertain about her body and the way it looks. And you're uncertain how you're going to be as a dad. And you're nervous about a child coming out of the womb. And what are you going to do? There's a lot of uncertainty in that. And then to go to the ER and for them to make it worse. So she was on bed rest. And we realized, how much did we control? For us, it was pretty uncertain. How much did we control? We let go, we let God. In uncertain times where you don't know what's going to happen next, be clear there's a God in heaven who loves you, who understands what's going on, who's in full control of what's happening and what's happening next. I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but every time I've done it, it's worked out. Now, I don't always do it, but every time I've done it, it works out. And so I remember to do it more often every single day. Remember that. Let go, let God. Number 3, handling yourself in uncertain times, anchor your purpose. This is not the time to lose it. This is not the time to lose self. This is not the time to lose who you are. Stay true to who you are and where you are going. Sometimes uncertain times create lies about you. Sometimes uncertain times create myths about you. People slander your name. People take advantage of your vulnerability. They come in for the kill at times where you are the most vulnerable. Remember this. Remember this. The truth is undefeated. The truth's undefeated. So don't lose yourself right now. Stay anchored in your purpose. Stay anchored in your truth. Stay anchored. Because whatever you're dealing with right now, it's going to be revealed. It's going to be revealed. And God is in control. So stay anchored in your purpose. Remember who you are. Remember your why. Remember your mission. Remember your vision. Remember your values. Remember your core. Remember your purpose. Why are you here in the first place? Who are you trying to help? Who are you trying to assist? Who are your people? Stay true to the people. Who are your people? They will find you and you will find them in the middle of uncertain times. 4, seek wise counsel. This has been one of the greatest, this is biblical, but this has been one of the greatest things I've ever done is align myself with people that are ahead of me. People who have been there before. There's nothing like talking to someone with great experience as you're going through a storm or an uncertain period of time. They know, they've been there. They're asking all the right questions. They know where all the crevices are. They know where all the bodies are buried in the situation. Find people who have been there before. Make sure you stay in touch with them and ask them good questions. They're gonna help you. They're gonna give you some form of a guidebook, some form of a guide rail for you to follow. It's going to help. Whenever you seek wise counsel, people who have been there before, it's going to help. Whether that's in marriage or raising a family or in business, just understand there's people who have been there before you, and there are people that have been there before you that are dying to help. Line yourself with the right people. In business, you deal with all kinds of things. You deal with personnel issues. You deal with equipment issues. You deal with how to go get office space. What do I do when it comes to getting bigger office space? How do I draw out the floor plan for the office space? What type of computer should I get? What type of, should I have servers? It gets endless. You start getting into events and event space and, should we use this venue? Should we use that venue? Sometimes you're learning as you go. A lot of times you're learning as you go. But if someone's been there before and you ask them these questions, you're gonna get clearer and better answers. Even if you don't do exactly what they say, you're gathering information that's allowing you to move faster and grow in the area that gives you a clearer path to the goal you're going towards. Sometimes when it's uncertain, you need clear, cut, concise answers. And number 5, I look at this scripture and it reminds me of what we should look like in uncertain times, what we should look like when we don't have a clue. What we should look like when it feels a little dim, a little dark, a little tainted. What should we look like? Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Consider yourself a town built on a hill. 15, neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. Understand this. We were made for uncertain times. That light that the Bible speaks about, that I just referenced, that light is built for darkness. When it's uncertain, when it feels dark, when it feels uncertain, that's when we illuminate. That's when we come to life. That's when we are at our best. That's when we are at our best. If you think back to a calamity, any calamity in time, if you think of 9/11, were we not, like history's told us, were we not made for uncertain times? How well did we respond to the unthinkable? People from all walks of life, first responders, flew down to the scene to try to help as many people as possible. World leaders united. Things took place all over the country. Some people took down the final, people on the plane took down the final plane. It was very dark. It was extremely uncertain. We became the light. And then you had people post 9/11 that built all kinds of memorials and monuments. And you go down to downtown New York now, Ground Zero, Chambers Street down there, you see what they've done. You see how it looks. You see how they took something that was devastating and gave it some life. Because we do, as a people, respond very well to uncertain times. So don't fret. You are a light on the hill. A light that shines as bright as you was not meant to be hidden. Let's do this thing and understand it's okay. It's okay that we can navigate uncertain times. We're gonna have plenty of uncertain times in business. We're gonna have plenty of uncertain times as entrepreneurs. We're gonna have plenty of uncertain times as people living out life. In our personal life, in our business life, it's okay. We're built for it, and we're gonna get through this. My hope is that we can get through this together. I hope this content helps. I hope it gives you a vision, some clarity, and allows you to keep trucking when it's not going the way you want it to go. God bless. Remember, we're the light. We're built for uncertain times. In the comments section, let's create a dialogue. What have you done in business in uncertain times? Remember, your comments are helping other entrepreneurs, and you're being a light to the darkness or the uncertainty that they're going through. Subscribe to the channel. We want to bring value. We want to help anybody, anywhere, continue to get through. I think as a community, we get through. I don't think any one of us has all the answers. I think as a community, we pull through this together. Appreciate y'all. Love you. I hope this helps. And if you like this content we did right here, click over here to learn why entrepreneurs may not survive 2025.